Hey guys, welcome back. Tonight we're stepping quietly into a world that never truly slept, an ancient supercity where stone roads still remember footsteps, where water flowed through darkness with perfect patience, where warmth lingered beneath marble floors long after fires faded, and where numbers, calendars, and silent machines kept an empire breathing even at night. This isn't the Rome of battles and emperors. Tonight, we explore the hidden technology that worked while the city rested. The roads beneath moonlight, the aqueducts whispering in the dark, the baths still warm at midnight, the ledgers quietly counting time, and the systems that allowed Rome to slow down without ever falling apart. So before you get comfortable, take a gentle moment to like this video and subscribe, but only if these deep sleep history stories help you find peace, sleep better, or simply reflect on our shared journey through time. Now close your eyes, let your breath soften. Imagine the ancient city dimming its lamps one by one, and allow Rome, after dark, to carry you gently into rest. So imagine this. In the calm History for Sleep story you are listening to now, it is late at night, the kind of night where the world feels paused, as if even time itself has slowed its breathing. You are standing on a road made of stone, cool beneath your feet, perfectly aligned, stretching forward into the darkness with quiet confidence. This road has been here for more than 2,000 years, long before cars, long before electricity, long before the idea of a modern nation even existed. And yet, it remains solid, unmoved, unbothered by centuries of rain, boots, hooves, and silence. In this boring History for Sleep moment, the Romans would not have called this road advanced technology. They would have simply called it a road. And that is precisely what makes it extraordinary. Beneath the surface, unseen in the darkness, lie layers carefully arranged with intention. Large foundation stones laid deep into the earth. Above them, crushed rock in gravel, compacted patiently. Then sand, pressed and leveled. And finally, the smooth stone surface, fitted so tightly together that even today, a blade of grass struggles to find a way through. This was not decoration. This was engineering disguised as simplicity. In this calm History for Sleep story, let your mind rest on the idea that technology does not always announce itself with noise or light. Sometimes it lies quietly underfoot, doing its job perfectly without asking to be noticed. The Roman road was designed not for beauty, but for endurance, slightly raised at the center so rain would slide away into shallow drainage channels. Built straight, almost stubbornly straight, not because it was easy, but because it was efficient. A straight line meant faster movement, clearer direction, fewer doubts. As you stand here in the imagined night, you can almost feel the logic beneath the stone. The road does not curve to please the landscape. The landscape was shaped to accept the road. In this slow, boring History for Sleep tone, picture a lone Roman soldier walking toward you from the distance. His steps are measured, calm. Each footfall produces a soft, familiar sound. Iron nails embedded in leather sandals meeting stone. Tap, tap, tap. The rhythm is steady, unhurried, almost hypnotic. He does not rush, he trusts the road. Because this road was built for him, for messages that must arrive on time, for armies that must move without hesitation, for merchants who carry olive oil, wine, and quiet hopes of profit across the empire. In this calm History for Sleep story, the road becomes more than stone. It becomes certainty. Wherever it leads, Rome follows. And wherever Rome follows, order replaces chaos. Let that idea settle gently in your mind as the night deepens and the road continues forward, silent, patient, and endlessly awake beneath the stars. In this calm history for sleep story, the night grows deeper, and the road continues to guide you forward without effort. There are no signs, no glowing markers, no voices telling you where to go. And yet, you never feel lost. The Roman road does not demand attention. It offers certainty. As you walk, you begin to notice how the stones beneath your feet are not random. Each one has been placed with purpose, shaped to lock against the next, creating a surface that resists movement, erosion, and time itself. In this boring history for sleep moment, imagine the countless footsteps that came before yours. Soldiers marching in disciplined silence, their armor softly brushing against leather straps. Couriers carrying messages sealed with wax, riding through the night because speed meant survival. Merchants leading carts that creaked gently, wheels following grooves worn into stone by centuries of repetition. The road remembers all of them. It remembers without emotion, without judgment, without rest. This is why the Roman road was not just infrastructure. It was a system, a quiet network that allowed an empire to breathe. In this calm history for sleep story, think of how news traveled along this stone spine. Victories announced, rebellions suppressed, taxes collected, laws enforced. All of it possible because these roads existed long before urgency arrived. The genius of Roman technology was not speed alone, but reliability. A road that could be trusted in daylight and darkness alike. As your imagined journey continues, the sound of footsteps becomes slower, more spaced out. Tap, tap, tap. The rhythm matches your breathing now, steady, predictable, comforting. You pass a milestone on the side of the road, barely visible in the moonlight. It does not boast, it simply states distance. Rome measured space carefully, because controlling distance meant controlling time. In this boring history for sleep tone, allow your mind to drift toward the idea that technology is not always about invention, but about consistency, about doing the same thing well, again and again, until chaos has no room to enter. The Roman road does not surprise you. It reassures you. It whispers, without words, that others have walked here before, and others will walk here long after. As the night air cools, you realize that this road was built not for one journey, but for endless journeys. It carries no emotion, yet it supports every human emotion that travels upon it. Fear, hope, duty, longing. In this calm history for sleep story, the road becomes a companion, silent, dependable, unchanging. And as your steps slow even further, the empire itself feels less like a place and more like a rhythm, one footstep after another, stretching quietly into sleep. In this calm history for sleep story, the night reaches its quietest point. The road beneath you feels almost warm now, as if it has absorbed centuries of footsteps and stored their memory within the stone. Roman roads were not built to impress future generations, yet they quietly outlived them all. In this boring history for sleep reflection, consider how rare that is. Most technologies vanish when they are replaced. These roads simply waited. Kingdoms fell, Languages changed, borders dissolved, and still the road remained, carrying nothing, yet ready to carry everything. The true brilliance of Roman technology was not ambition, but restraint. They built just enough, but built it correctly. No shortcuts, no haste. In this calm history for sleep story, imagine lying down beside the road, your ear close to the stone. You might almost hear echoes, not voices, but vibrations. The memory of carts, the weight of armor, the soft drag of sandals, all of it compressed into silence. The road does not sleep, it rests, waiting. This was technology designed to disappear into daily life, to become invisible through reliability, and that is why it endured. In this boring history for sleep tone, allow yourself to release the idea that progress must always look new. Sometimes progress looks like something that refuses to break, something that works so well it becomes boring, predictable, trustworthy. The Roman road did not change the world by being dramatic. It changed the world by being there, every day, every night, in rain, in heat, in darkness. As your breathing slows and your thoughts soften, remember that this road once connected millions of lives who never met each other. They shared no language, no culture, no dreams, but they shared stone beneath their feet. In this calm history for sleep story, that is the quiet power of Roman technology. Not domination, but connection. Not speed, but certainty. And as the road stretches on into the unseen distance, let your mind rest with it, solid, unmoving, timeless, carrying the empire gently into history and carrying you just as gently into sleep. In this calm history for sleep story, lift your eyes away from the road and toward the dark hills beyond the city. There, barely visible under the moonlight, stand long lines of stone arches stretching across valleys and fields. They look like bridges, but they were never meant for footsteps. They were built for something far quieter, for water. On these silent heights, the Roman aqueduct begins, not with force, not with noise, but with patience. In this calm history for sleep moment, imagine the Romans standing beside a mountain spring, not trying to tame it, not trying to hurry it, but simply watching it flow. They understood something deeply unusual for an empire of conquest. Water does not need to be commanded, it needs to be guided. And so they gave it a path so gentle that the water itself barely noticed it was moving. The slope of a Roman aqueduct was almost invisible. Too steep, and the water would rush, erode, destroy. Too flat, and it would stagnate. The genius lived in that narrow, boring middle space, a descent so precise that the water could travel for tens of kilometers, sometimes hundreds, without stopping, without spilling, without effort. In this calm history for sleep story, let your thoughts slow as you follow the line of stone. Each arch exists only to support the next. None demand attention, none stand alone. Together they form a quiet promise: the water will arrive. The Romans measured these slopes with simple tools: plumb lines, siding rods, patience. No computers, no satellites, just repetition and trust. In this boring history for sleep tone, allow yourself to feel the calm confidence of a system that does not rush. The aqueduct does not fight gravity, it cooperates with it, and in doing so, it becomes invisible. That is the quiet genius, technology that does not announce itself, technology that works so smoothly it fades into the background of daily life.
As night settles deeper, imagine standing beneath one of these arches, hearing nothing but wind and distant water. The empire sleeps. The aqueduct does not. It continues endlessly, carrying life toward the city without complaint, without pause, without ever asking to be noticed.
So, a single drop of water, forming quietly at a mountain spring before dawn. It trembles for a moment, then releases itself into motion. No rush, no urgency, just gravity and trust. The drop enters a stone channel, cool and smooth, shaped by hands that will never know its name. In this boring history for sleep reflection, the drop begins its long journey. It slides, almost lazily, guided by the slightest slope imaginable. It passes through covered channels to protect it from heat and dust. It enters clay pipes hidden underground, unseen by anyone walking above. The city is far away, but the path is already complete. In this calm history for sleep story, notice how nothing dramatic happens. The drop does not splash. It does not fall. It simply moves, hour after hour, mile after mile. The Romans designed this system so well that the water never had to think. It followed the path laid out for it centuries ago. This is boring precision at its finest. No excess, no guesswork, just enough angle to keep moving. As the drop continues, it joins countless others. Together they become a quiet river, flowing through stone arteries beneath the empire. In this boring history for sleep tone, imagine the sound, not loud, not rushing, just a soft, constant murmur. A sound that does not demand attention, but rewards it. The drop passes through settling tanks, where impurities are allowed to sink away. It moves onward, clearer now, calmer. The Romans did not purify water with chemicals or machines. They used time, stillness, gravity, the same forces guiding your breath right now. In this calm history for sleep story, the drop approaches the city. It rises gently across an aqueduct bridge, high above the ground, carried not by pressure, but by patience. From there, it disappears into pipes again, slipping silently into the heart of daily life. The drop does not know it will soon become part of a fountain, a bath, a household basin. It simply flows, and in that flow, the empire survives. As the drop finally emerges into a city fountain, notice how ordinary the moment feels. Water spills gently into a basin, people pass by, life continues. No one applauds the aqueduct, no one marvels at the pipes hidden underground. That is the final brilliance of Roman water technology. It disappears. It becomes background. In this boring history for sleep reflection, understand that the Romans did not build aqueducts to impress. They built them so people could forget about water entirely. Baths could flow, fountains could sing softly, homes could function without fear of drought. Technology, at its most successful, removes anxiety. The aqueduct did not conquer land, it conquered uncertainty. In this calm history for sleep story, let that idea settle gently. The empire of flowing water was not loud. It did not announce itself with banners or trumpets. It whispered endlessly through stone and clay, through gravity and patience. This was quiet genius,
This was boring precision, and because it was boring, it worked. As your breathing slows and the images soften, imagine the water continuing long after the empire fades. Cities change, names vanish, but the channels remain, waiting to be rediscovered, still following the same gentle slope. In this history for sleep story, that is the true legacy of Roman technology. Not power, not speed, but flow. And as the water flows without effort, allow your thoughts to do the same. Drifting, settling, becoming still, just like the water, just like the night.
Long before the idea of central heating existed, long before comfort became something expected rather than earned, the Roman world quietly learned how to soften stone itself. In cities built from marble, brick, and concrete, cold was not an event, but a condition, persistent, slow, and deeply familiar. Early mornings carried a chill that settled into floors and walls, lingering long after the sun rose. The Romans did not accept this as unavoidable. They observed how heat moved, how air rose, how stone remembered warmth. And from that observation, they created something subtle and enduring. The hypocaust was not a dramatic invention. It was not a machine with moving parts or flashing signals. It was an understanding made physical. Beneath the floors of bathhouses, villas, and public buildings, small brick pillars lifted the ground itself, creating a hidden space where warm air could travel. Somewhere beyond the room, a furnace burned steadily, not violently, but patiently. The fire was tended carefully, feeding warmth into an empty space rather than directly into the room. Heat entered quietly, drifting beneath the floor, spreading slowly, evenly, without force. Stone absorbed this warmth over hours, holding it gently, releasing it long after the flames had softened. Walls, too, were shaped to participate. Hollow flues allowed warm air to rise upward, circulating through the building like a slow breath. There were no sudden bursts of heat, no harsh contrasts, only a steady, calm presence that transformed cold architecture into something almost alive. Imagine stepping inside a Roman bath complex before the city fully wakes. Outside, the air is cool and sharp. Inside, the floor beneath your sandals feels warm, not hot, but reassuring. Heat rises gently from below, wrapping the space in quiet comfort. You may not know why the room feels this way. You do not need to. The system does not demand attention. That was its brilliance. The hypocaust did not exist to impress. It existed to disappear into daily life. It turned warmth into a background condition, something felt but not noticed. In a world without modern insulation or glass windows, this mattered deeply. Warmth meant health. It meant muscles could relax. It meant people could linger, think, speak softly, and rest. The Romans understood that comfort was not a luxury, but a form of order. By controlling heat gently and predictably, they shaped how people moved and behaved within a space. This was technology designed for the body, not the battlefield. It asked no admiration, it simply worked. And because it worked so well, it lasted. The hypocaust represents a kind of intelligence often overlooked, intelligence that values balance over spectacle. It was central heating before the term existed, created not through complexity, but through patience, gravity, and trust in natural movement. Stone learned to breathe, buildings learned to hold warmth, and the Roman world became just a little gentler, one quiet floor at a time. So gently as dawn settles over the city, the Roman baths begin their day long before crowds arrive. The first to enter do so quietly, wrapped in the stillness of early morning. Outside,
Stone streets remain cool, shadows long and unbroken. Inside the bath complex, the difference is immediate. The floor carries warmth from the night before, a steady, comforting presence that meets bare feet without surprise. This warmth is not sharp or intense. It is soft, patient, and deeply reassuring. It invites the body to slow down. Steam gathers faintly near the ceilings, not yet thick, just enough to blur hard edges and soften the room's geometry. Sound behaves differently here. Voices lower naturally, footsteps echo gently and then fade. The hypocaust beneath the floor continues its unseen work, circulating warmth through brick pillars and hollow spaces, never hurrying, never stopping. Morning hours in the baths are calm by design. People sit longer, movements stretch, muscles ease without conscious effort. Warm stone transmits heat evenly upward, encouraging blood to flow, joints to loosen, breath to deepen. This is not luxury in the modern sense, it is maintenance, a ritual of care woven into daily life. The Romans did not separate technology from routine, they embedded it within the rhythms of the day. As the sun climbs higher, more people arrive. The baths fill with low conversation, murmured greetings, the subtle sounds of water being poured and cloth brushed against skin. Heat remains constant, predictable, reliable. No one adjusts a dial, no one questions whether the system will work. It always does. The hypocaust has already done its work hours earlier, storing warmth within the stone so it can be released gradually throughout the day. Pools shimmer gently, steam thickens slightly, wrapping the room in warmth without weight. Time stretches. In this environment, urgency feels out of place. The city beyond the walls may rush and argue and trade, but here the pace is different. The baths become a shared pause in the day. As afternoon arrives, light filters through high windows, cutting softly through steam, catching on moisture in the air. The heat remains steady beneath foot, grounding every movement. People come and go, but the atmosphere stays the same, calm, predictable, held together by the invisible work below. Toward evening, the fires feeding the hypocaust burn lower, yet the stone remembers. Heat does not vanish when fuel diminishes, it lingers, stored patiently within floors and walls. Even as voices thin and footsteps fade, the baths remain warm. Long after the last visitor leaves, warmth continues to rise slowly from beneath the floor, filling empty rooms with quiet comfort. This is the true achievement of Roman heating technology. Not momentary heat, but sustained gentleness. A system designed not to overwhelm the senses, but to support them continuously. The baths close for the night, but the hypocaust does not abruptly stop. It eases, it settles, it leaves behind a trace of warmth that will greet the first visitor again at dawn. Technology here is not about control, it is about rhythm, about aligning human life with natural movement, heat rising, stone holding, time slowing. In the Roman baths, an entire day unfolds without anyone ever seeing the mechanism that makes it possible.
What makes Roman heating truly remarkable is not its complexity, but how completely it blended into ordinary life. People did not speak of the hypocaust with awe. They did not gather to admire it. They simply expected warmth to be there. And that expectation, quiet and unspoken, was the system's greatest success. The heat beneath their feet became as natural as daylight through a window, as familiar as the weight of stone walls around them. When technology reaches that level of invisibility, it stops feeling like invention and starts feeling like environment. The hypocaust did not announce itself with noise or light. It worked in silence, shaping experience rather than drawing attention. As centuries passed and Rome's borders stretched thin, the heating systems remained, still doing their work long after emperors changed and politics shifted. Fires were lit and tended by unseen hands, often long before dawn, so warmth would be waiting without delay. The people who benefited rarely thought about the labor below. They felt only the result, a floor that welcomed bare feet, a room that invited rest, a body that softened rather than tensed. This was warmth as infrastructure, not indulgence. It supported daily life without interrupting it. As night falls over the baths and the last visitors leave, the buildings do not immediately cool. Stone remembers. Heat fades slowly, lingering like the final glow of embers after a fire has settled. The hypocaust space beneath the floor grows quiet, but it does not feel empty. It holds the memory of warmth, stored patiently within brick and mortar. This lingering heat is not dramatic. It is subtle, almost tender. It creates a sense of safety even in absence. Long after voices have gone and water lies still, the building remains gently alive. This endurance is the quiet legacy of Roman heating. It was never about conquest or display. It was about care, about recognizing that comfort shapes health, and health shapes civilization. In a world that could be harsh and unpredictable, the hypocaust offered something rare: consistency. Warmth that arrived every day without surprise. Heat that did not scorch or shock, but supported. This consistency allowed people to slow down, to speak more softly, to linger longer in shared spaces. It softened the edges of a hard world. Even when Rome itself began to fade, when roads cracked and aqueducts fell silent, traces of this warmth remained. Ruins uncovered centuries later still show hollow floors, brick pillars, channels once filled with heat. Archaeologists find them and understand immediately what they were for, because the idea is universal. Warmth beneath the feet feels right. It feels human. The hypocaust did not survive because it was powerful. It survived because it was kind. As you imagine the final heat settling into stone, allow that sensation to mirror your own body. Muscles releasing, breath slowing, thoughts becoming less defined. The Romans did not build this system to make people sleep, but they built it to make rest possible. And rest, once allowed, often arrives quietly on its own. This is the image to hold as the chapter ends. Not flames, not furnaces, but gentle warmth lingering in darkness. A technology that did not shout its presence, but whispered comfort into the night. And as that warmth slowly fades, it carries you with it, downward into stillness, into calm, into sleep. Night settles slowly around the Roman camp, not with fear, but with order. As the last traces of daylight fade, nothing dramatic replaces them. Fires are reduced, not extinguished. Voices lowered, not silenced. The camp enters a state of controlled quiet, where every sound carries meaning. Beyond the circle of torchlight, the city stands behind its walls, unlit and unmoving. No alarms, no torches on the battlements, just stone, darkness, and distance. This is where Roman siege warfare truly begins, not with shouting, but with measuring. Roman engineers move through the night with deliberate calm. They are not warriors in the usual sense. They do not rush. They do not stare at the walls with anger or anticipation. Their attention is fixed on the ground between camp and city. A rope is uncoiled slowly, laid straight, then pulled taut. Wooden stakes are pressed into the soil at precise intervals. Distances are counted carefully, not once, but repeatedly. Not because the ground changes, but because certainty matters more than speed. The Romans believed that if distance was wrong, everything built upon it would fail. This belief shaped their entire approach to siege technology. War, in their hands, became an exercise in alignment. Somewhere nearby, a collection of wooden beams lies arranged on the ground. At first glance, they look like nothing more than timber, but each piece has already been selected, cut, and shaped for a specific role. There is no excess wood here, no decorative carving. Every surface that will bear weight has been smoothed by hand. Every edge that will meet another has been adjusted until it fits without resistance. An engineer walks among the pieces slowly, lifting one end, then setting it down again. He listens to the sound it makes as it touches the earth. A dull sound suggests imbalance. A clean, quiet contact suggests readiness. This attention to sound is not superstition. Roman engineers understood that materials communicate through vibration. Wood that creaks unexpectedly will fail under stress. Rope that sighs too sharply will snap. Silence is not absence, it is information. The city walls remain untouched. No stone is thrown, no ladder is raised. Tonight is not about attack, it is about understanding the relationship between machine and space. The engineers look at the walls only briefly, not to intimidate them, but to confirm angles. Height is measured against distance. Towers are mapped relative to ground slope. Even the moon's position is noted, not for poetry, but for visibility. Notes are scratched into wax tablets under flickering torchlight. Numbers are murmured softly, then repeated. If two measurements do not agree, both are discarded and taken again. This is the quiet discipline behind Roman power. Nothing is trusted until it has been confirmed more than once. As the night deepens, the city remains unaware. Inside its walls, people sleep, not knowing that their fate is being shaped without noise or spectacle. The siege has already begun, but it looks nothing like violence. It looks like careful preparation, like patience made physical, like war reduced to geometry and time. And in this stillness, surrounded by rope, wood, and measured space, Roman technology reveals its true nature, not forceful, but precise, not loud, but inevitable.
As the night continues, the Roman camp settles into a rhythm that feels almost meditative. Nothing is rushed, nothing is left to chance. Siege machines are not assembled as weapons, but as systems, quiet structures that must agree with gravity, tension, and time. Wooden frames are raised slowly, each beam guided into place by hands that know the weight before it is lifted. No one shouts instructions. Movements are communicated through habit and trust. A beam is set down, then left untouched for a while, allowing the wood to settle naturally. Roman engineers understood that materials reveal their true shape only when given time. Rope is introduced next, coiled loosely at first, then tightened gradually. Fibers twist together under controlled tension, producing a soft, steady sound. Not a strain, but a confirmation. This sound matters. Too sharp and the rope is stressed. Too dull and it is slack. The correct sound is subtle, almost boring, and that is precisely what the engineers want. Boring means predictable. Predictable means safe. Counterweights are assembled with similar care. Stones are lifted and lowered repeatedly, not to test strength, but to observe behavior. How quickly does the weight settle? Does it swing or remain calm? Does it rest evenly or does it pull slightly to one side? These small observations guide every adjustment. Roman siege technology was built on sensitivity rather than force. Engineers watched how wood flexed under pressure, how rope responded to temperature, how metal fittings expanded slightly in the cold night air. Each change was noted and compensated for. Nothing was assumed. Even the ground beneath the machines was prepared carefully, leveled and packed so that the structure would not shift when finally used. War, at this stage, resembles craftsmanship more than combat. The repetition is soothing. The same knot tied again, the same measurement checked again, the same alignment confirmed under torchlight, then under moonlight. Shadows move slowly across unfinished machines, stretching and shrinking as flames flicker. Tools are handled gently, placed down quietly, picked up again without clatter. Engineers pause often, stepping back to feel the balance of the machine as a whole, not to admire it, but to sense whether it rests correctly. A well-built machine feels calm even when idle. Roman engineers believed that tension should exist only where intended. Any unnecessary strain was a warning sign. If something felt wrong, work stopped. Adjustments were made patiently, sometimes undoing hours of labor to correct a single detail. This willingness to slow down is what made Roman siege machines so reliable. By the time a machine stood complete, it had already proven itself through stillness. The city beyond the walls remains silent. No alarms are raised because nothing yet threatens. Inside the camp, however, the outcome grows increasingly certain. Power is being assembled quietly, piece by piece, without spectacle. The machines wait, the engineers wait. The night holds everything in suspension. This is not the violence of war, but its preparation, deliberate, methodical, and deeply controlled.
By the hour just before dawn, the Roman camp feels complete, even though nothing visible has yet happened. The machines stand assembled, calm and still, aligned with the ground as if they have always belonged there. Engineers make their final rounds not with urgency, but with familiarity. Hands move over wood and rope one last time, checking tension that has already been checked many times before. Small adjustments are made, measured in breaths rather than minutes. Nothing is rushed because nothing needs to be. This is the moment when Roman siege warfare reveals its true character. The battle is no longer an event waiting to explode. It is a condition that has already settled into place. War has become calculation. Distance has been translated into angle. Weight has been translated into tension. Time has been translated into patience. The city still sleeps behind its walls, unaware that the most important phase of the siege has already passed. No stone has flown, no signal has been given, and yet the outcome now feels inevitable, not because of strength, but because of preparation. Roman engineers step back from the machines and simply observe. They listen. They wait. Silence is not empty here. It is full of confirmation. The wood no longer creaks under its own weight. The ropes hold without complaint. The frames rest evenly against the earth. This stillness tells them more than any test shot ever could. The machines are ready because they are calm. In Roman thinking, a weapon that cannot wait is a weapon that cannot be trusted. As the first pale light begins to soften the darkness, dew settles on beams and cords, adding a subtle weight that the engineers expected and planned for. Nothing shifts, nothing strains. The machines absorb the change as part of their design. This is why Roman siege technology inspired such quiet fear. It did not rely on surprise, it relied on certainty. The engineers record their final notes, not because they will be needed, but because habit demands completion. Wax tablets are closed, tools are placed down carefully. The camp remains hushed. Even now, there is no sense of anticipation. Anticipation belongs to chaos. The Romans preferred readiness. Somewhere behind the walls, a city will wake to an ordinary morning. People will move, speak, eat, unaware that the decisive work has already been done. When the first stone is eventually released, it will not mark the beginning of the siege, but the end of preparation. Everything before that moment was the real work. Everything after it will follow naturally. This is the quiet truth beneath Roman warfare. Violence was only the surface. Beneath it lay structure, repetition, and restraint. War was reduced to logistics so precise that emotion became unnecessary. Courage mattered less than alignment. Fear mattered less than measurement. As the light grows and the machines stand silent, allow the scene to slow further. Imagine the engineers stepping aside, their task complete, trusting the systems they have built. The machines do not threaten the city. They simply wait. This waiting is not tension. It is balance, and in that balance, the night finally releases its hold. The siege has already succeeded, quietly, before anyone noticed. Let that stillness remain as the chapter closes. War transformed into preparation, power expressed through patience, and history moving forward not with a shout, but with a measured, almost gentle certainty. Long after the noise of roads, water, and machines fades into the background, the Roman Empire is still held together by something far quieter. Numbers, days, lines written and rewritten until meaning becomes rhythm. In a small administrative room far from the battlefield, an oil lamp burns steadily, its flame barely moving. Beneath its warm light, a Roman scribe sits at a wooden desk worn smooth by years of elbows resting in the same place. The city outside sleeps, but the work continues. Wax tablets lie open. Papyrus scrolls are unrolled carefully. The scribe dips his stylus and begins again, tracing familiar symbols with practiced calm. Not words of poetry, not speeches of power, only figures, dates, tallies. The Roman calendar is not something he debates, it is something he follows. Day after day, month after month, the same sequence returns. Calends, nones, ides. Each date arrives exactly when expected, because expectation itself is the system. The empire does not rely on surprise, it relies on repetition. Taxes are not dramatic events, they are scheduled moments. The same numbers appear again and again, copied from one surface to another, transferred patiently so nothing is lost. Roman numerals move slowly across the page. I, V, X, L. Simple shapes, repeated endlessly. The scribe does not rush. Speed introduces error. Accuracy comes from calm. Each line is checked against the last. Each sum is confirmed by counting again, then counting once more. There is comfort in this process. The mind relaxes into predictability. The hand follows routines learned long ago. Outside, seasons change. Inside, the numbers remain steady. This is how the empire stays balanced, not through speeches or swords, but through ledgers that close properly at the end of the day. The Roman calendar is more than a way to track time. It is a ritual. Certain days are marked for business, others for rest, others for festivals long past their original meaning. The scribe notes them all without emotion. His task is not to interpret, only to record. Recording is enough. The repetition itself creates order. As the oil lamp flickers, shadows move slowly across the walls, but the numbers do not change. Grain shipments are logged. Tax obligations are noted. Names appear, then disappear, replaced by new names written in the same careful hand. Everything fits into its column. Everything has its place. This work is not exciting. It is not meant to be. Its power lies in how little it demands attention. The empire does not feel the weight of these numbers because they are distributed across thousands of desks, thousands of lamps, thousands of nights just like this one. One scribe finishes a line, pauses, then begins the next, guided by habit rather than thought. This is the quiet heartbeat of Rome. As the night deepens, the routine continues, steady and unbroken, carrying the empire forward, one number at a time. As the hours pass and the oil lamp burns lower, the work of Roman accounting continues without change. There is no sense of progress in the way modern minds expect it. Nothing dramatic is completed. Nothing visibly advances. Instead, the same actions repeat with gentle certainty. A stylus moves. A number is copied. A date is confirmed. Then the process begins again. This repetition is not inefficiency, it is stability. Roman administration depended on this steady rhythm because rhythm prevents error. In a world without machines to calculate instantly, the human hand became the instrument of accuracy. The scribe understands this deeply. His body has learned the movements so thoroughly that his thoughts no longer need to guide them. Each figure flows into the next without hesitation. Taxes are not collected in moments of confrontation, but in cycles. Grain owed, coin owed, land assessed. All of it returns on schedule, like the phases of the moon. The Roman calendar enforces this order. Certain days are marked for assessment, others for recording, others for reconciliation when numbers are checked against earlier entries. The scribe does not question why the cycle exists, he simply participates in it. Participation is enough. As the lamp flickers, he pauses only to stretch his fingers, then resumes. Wax tablets fill slowly, line by line. When one is complete, it is set aside, not triumphantly, but quietly, making room for the next. The act of closing a tablet is almost ceremonial. It signals completion, not achievement. The empire moves forward not because anyone feels inspired, but because someone always finishes the page. Roman numerals contribute to this calm. They do not invite speed, they resist haste. Writing them requires intention. Counting them requires attention. This slowness is a feature, not a flaw. It forces the mind to stay present. Errors reveal themselves naturally when the pace is unhurried. Outside the room, time continues to pass, but inside, time feels circular. Days resemble one another. Entries resemble one another. Even handwriting remains consistent, shaped by repetition rather than mood. This sameness is comforting. It means that the system is working. When something unusual appears, it stands out immediately. But most nights, nothing unusual appears, and that is exactly what Rome depends on. The scribe adjusts the lamp, ensuring the light falls evenly across the surface. Shadows soften the edges of the room. Numbers continue. Names appear briefly,
then fade into the background of recorded history. No one here is remembered for emotion. They are remembered, if at all, for accuracy. This quiet labor does not feel heavy, it feels necessary. Routine transforms effort into ease. The longer it continues, the less it demands. As midnight passes, the scribe completes another section. He reviews it once, slowly, then once more. When everything aligns, he moves on. There is no rush to finish before sleep. The work will be there tomorrow, just as it was yesterday. This assurance removes urgency. The empire breathes through this certainty. As the lamp burns down further, the repetition becomes almost hypnotic. Numbers lose their individuality and become pattern. Pattern becomes comfort, and comfort allows the mind to rest even while the hand continues moving. This is how Rome governs itself, not through constant command, but through endless, patient routine.
As the night approaches its quiet end, the Roman calendar continues its steady work, indifferent to darkness or fatigue. Time in Rome does not rush forward. It turns. It circles back on itself with reassuring familiarity. Days are not dramatic events. They are markers placed carefully along an endless path. The scribe knows this well. He does not think of tomorrow as something new. He thinks of it as something expected. The same names will return. The same dates will appear. The same routines will resume. Calends will open the month as they always do. Nones will arrive without surprise. Ides will pass quietly, stripped of their former legends, reduced now to simple reference points in a working system. This predictability is not dullness, it is control. The Roman Empire learned that to govern vast distances, time itself must be made manageable. The calendar becomes a tool, not for inspiration, but for coordination. Taxes align with seasons, records align with days, obligations align with cycles that never change their order. Under the glow of the oil lamp, the scribe updates the calendar marks one final time before resting. His movements are slow, almost automatic. The act has been repeated so often that it no longer feels like work. It feels like alignment. Each mark placed on the surface confirms that tomorrow will arrive exactly as planned. This certainty removes anxiety. Nothing unexpected is waiting. Everything already has a place. Roman numerals reinforce this calm structure. They do not flow quickly across the page. They pause the hand. They require attention. Writing them slows the body down, breath by breath. Counting them invites patience. This slowness is intentional. It prevents the mind from racing ahead. Instead, thought settles into the present moment, anchored by form and repetition. The calendar does not care who rules Rome. Emperors change, names fade, but the days remain loyal to their sequence. This loyalty is what allowed Rome to endure. When politics failed, routine remained. When power shifted, schedules stayed intact. The calendar outlasted individuals because it belonged to no one. It simply existed. As the scribe closes his final tablet for the night, there is no sense of completion, only continuity. The work does not end, it pauses. Tomorrow will pick up exactly where today left off. This pause is gentle. It does not demand urgency. It invites rest. Outside, the city breathes quietly. Somewhere else, another scribe is finishing the same task under another lamp, following the same calendar, writing the same numbers. The empire does not feel large from this perspective. It feels repetitive, and repetition creates stability.
As the night deepens into its final hours, allow this image to settle. Days turning like wheels, numbers repeating without variation, time moving forward by returning to itself. This is the final secret of Roman administration. Power was not maintained by constant action, but by predictable return. And as that return continues, endlessly calm, endlessly familiar, it carries the mind with it, gently, away from thought, away from effort, and into rest.
As darkness settles over Rome, the city does not fall asleep all at once. It slows gradually, like a great body easing into rest. The stone roads that carried voices and footsteps all day now lie mostly empty, their surfaces cooling under the night air. Wheel ruts and worn edges catch faint moonlight, revealing how many lives have passed over them before this quiet hour. Somewhere nearby, water continues to move, flowing through channels built generations earlier, guided by slopes calculated with patient precision. No one is watching it now. No one needs to. The aqueducts do not rest simply because the people do. They keep their steady rhythm, delivering water into darkness as reliably as they did in daylight. From the direction of the baths, thin traces of steam rise and dissolve into the night sky. Fires beneath the floors have been reduced, but the warmth remains, stored in stone, released slowly. The air carries a faint memory of heat and mineral scent, barely noticeable unless you pause to breathe it in. Gates at the edges of the city close with heavy finality. Wood meets stone. Iron settles into place. Guards exchange few words. There is nothing urgent to say. Lamps flicker in a handful of windows, marking those still awake, finishing tasks, counting numbers, recording names, or simply sitting quietly with the day behind them. Rome at night is not dramatic, it is orderly. Each system continues just enough to maintain balance. Roads wait, water flows, heat lingers, time turns forward without announcement. This is the true scale of Roman technology, not isolated inventions, but a city that continues to function even when its people withdraw. The empire does not sleep because it has been designed not to need constant attention. Everything essential has already been set into motion. As the hours deepen, sounds soften further. Footsteps become rare. Voices fade into the distance. What remains is the low presence of infrastructure quietly doing its work. The city breathes slowly, one measured cycle after another. To stand here in this imagined darkness is to feel how Rome held itself together, not through noise or force, but through continuity. Every technology you have heard about becomes part of a single calm rhythm. Roads that endure, water that arrives, heat that comforts, numbers that align days and duties. None of them demand attention now. They simply continue. And that continuation is what allows rest to arrive. The ancient city drifts toward silence, not abruptly, but naturally, like a lamp turned low rather than extinguished. And as Rome settles into this quiet state, it invites you to do the same, to let the movement slow, to let thought soften, to let the night carry you gently toward sleep. After midnight, Rome feels different. Not empty, but distanced, as if the city has stepped slightly away from itself. The great structures remain, but they no longer ask to be noticed. Streets stretch quietly between buildings, their stone surfaces reflecting only fragments of starlight. and the soft glow of a few remaining lamps. At this hour, movement is minimal. A single figure passes at the far end of a road, footsteps slow and unhurried, fading almost immediately into the surrounding silence. Water continues its journey beneath arches and through hidden channels, unchanged by the hour. It does not know what time it is. It only knows direction. Gravity guides it the same way it always has, drawing it steadily from distant hills into fountains that now stand unused, their basins dark and still. Somewhere below the surface, pipes carry warmth and moisture away, maintaining balance without announcement. The baths, now closed, hold on to their heat. Stone floors release it gradually, so slowly that the change is barely perceptible. The air nearby remains softer, warmer, carrying a faint trace of steam that thins as it rises. No one is there to enjoy it. That is not a failure of design, it is proof of it. Roman technology was never built solely for presence, it was built for continuity. In administrative quarters, lamps are finally extinguished one by one. The last scribe finishes a line, closes a tablet, and allows the routine to pause until morning. The calendar does not stop turning, it simply waits. Outside, gates remain closed, not as a sign of fear, but of order. Guards stand in familiar positions, weight shifting subtly from one foot to the other, bodies relaxed by habit. Nothing threatens the city tonight. Everything is where it should be. Rome after midnight is a system in equilibrium. Roads are ready, water flows, heat settles, time advances without interruption. This is what allows the city to feel calm even in darkness. No single person is responsible for holding it together at this hour. Responsibility has been distributed into stone, slope, and routine. The city no longer needs attention. It has been taught how to continue. As the night deepens further, sound becomes almost abstract. A distant echo here, a soft drip there. These are not disturbances, they are confirmations that things are still moving, still aligned. The empire is not awake, but it is not vulnerable. It rests inside its own design. To imagine Rome at this hour is to imagine a place that trusts itself, and that trust is deeply relaxing. Nothing is demanded, nothing is urgent. The city has already done what it needed to do. What remains is simply the gentle passage of time, carrying stone, water, and quiet thought forward together. As the final hours of night stretch quietly across Rome, the city settles into a silence that feels complete, not empty. This is not the silence of abandonment, but of trust. Roads lie still because they know they will be walked again. Water continues to flow because it has never needed permission. Stone holds warmth because it remembers the fire that once passed beneath it. Numbers rest inside closed tablets because they have already done their work. Nothing asks to be watched anymore. Everything has been designed to continue on its own. This is what made Rome an ancient supercity, not its size, not its power, but its ability to rest without falling apart. Each technology you have encountered throughout this journey now becomes part of a single, slow rhythm. The roads breathe out their heat into the night air. The aqueducts carry water with unchanging patience. The baths release the last traces of warmth like a body exhaling before sleep. The machines of war stand quiet, balanced, no longer instruments of force, but shapes at rest. The calendars have turned their final mark for the day, and time itself seems content to pause. All of it remains connected, even now, even in darkness. Rome does not switch off, it dims. Lamps go dark one by one, not in haste, but in sequence. A final guard shifts his weight, then stills. Somewhere far away, a door closes softly. The city's breathing slows. This is the moment when Rome feels almost human, a vast organism that has learned how to sleep lightly, keeping only what is necessary awake. It trusts its systems. It trusts its stone. It trusts the quiet labor already completed. And in that trust, it allows rest. To imagine this city is to imagine stability. Nothing is collapsing, nothing is urgent. Everything has already been accounted for. That sense of completion is what allows the mind to release its grip. Just as Rome releases the day, you can release yours. The ancient city drifts fully into silence now, not because activity has stopped forever, but because it knows how to begin again. Tomorrow, the roads will welcome footsteps. Water will sparkle in fountains. Warmth will rise beneath stone floors. Numbers will return to tablets. Time will resume its gentle cycle. But for now, everything waits, and waiting feels safe. As the ancient city drifts into silence, I hope you too can close your eyes, letting your thoughts slow the way Rome's streets have slowed, letting your breath follow the calm rhythm of water moving through stone, letting the warmth of rest settle gently through you. Nothing more is required. Nothing more needs to be planned. Like Rome, you have already done enough for today. Allow the night to hold you, quietly, patiently, until sleep arrives on its own.